The role of a writer is not to say what we all can say, but what we are unable to say. Who's going to help us write what we are unable to say is Toastmaster Tiji Matthew. He has an interest in public speaking as he believes that he has things to say and continuously improves to do it in a way acceptable to people to listen. He joined Toastmasters through BKS Toastmasters Club on 1st Jan 2004, thus he has completed 8 years. Served as BKS Toastmasters Club first as club secretary and as club president in 2006-2007. And that year, they were awarded the President's Distinguished Award. He served as club mentor for Keen4 Toastmasters Club and Awal Gulf Toastmasters in 2008 and 2009. Served as Area 35 Governor in 2008-2009. Currently working as Manager Projects for Petrochemical Division of Ahmed Mansoor Al Ali Company. His greatest achievements is his marriage to Rekha and his 2 boys, Joel and Josh. In fact, it was a speech about Joel that brought his international speech a lot of accolades and awards at club and area level, and an opportunity to participate at division level. Let's all welcome Toastmaster Tiji Matthew.
Check. Check 1. Check. Check. Check 1, 2. Can you hear me at the back seat there? Yes. That row? Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Well, here we go on a journey, and I am the opening batsman. Okay, we've got the experts coming later on. We've heard about so much about how everybody is accomplished more than the other. They let the least ones in the front, so then they bring the ones in the experts in the end. So any mistakes I make, they will correct as they go along. So let's start off with today's presentation. The idea of the area governor was to divide this whole workshop into 4 parts, and the bit that he gave me was the thing I'm still working on. Where do I get my topics from? Because I know my VP calls me and tells me to do speeches every time, and I know those are the days that I don't end up at the club also. So, as much as I am standing here to tell you about how to get your topics, I'm also here to learn. So let's go along on this journey of learning what all our speech is supposed to be, what does our audience like, and the message that we would like to leave them with. That's the whole idea that I would like to give you today. So area governor, area officials, members of the clubs of the Area 34, welcome to tonight's work, to afternoon's workshop. And I was reading, as I was preparing this, there was this very good anecdote about Einstein, this great physicist who was in Harvard University, and they invited him to speak. You must have all read this. And there he came up to this podium, and the expectant crowds waiting, what he's going to say. And he came and stood there and said, I have nothing to say, and went back and sat down. The entire audience, incredulously looking at this man, he got up and came again. They expected, wow, he's come back. He was just making, and he said, when I have something to say, I'll come back later on. Went back and sat down. Now, his theory of relativity would have been very good, but his theory of picking up speech topics was awful. So if that can happen to Einstein, then how much more can it happen to one of us? I believe that as you prepare for a speech, it's very much like aiming for a bullseye. And most of the time we'd like to be like that smart chap there, pulling our string back, hitting on bullseye. Most of the times what happens is we've got arrows in all the wrong places, and the evaluator standing there, maybe if he's in a bad mood, asking us to repeat our speech also. While the contests are coming, I'm one of those speakers who is vehemently opposed to writing speeches for contests. I believe that if you have to speak, speak every day as if it were a contest. Speak every day with a message that is useful to somebody, for something that you want to bring to. And I think that is what makes champions. So as we go along, that's what I would come to again and again, and hopefully that will be done in 15 minutes. Now, many a time we've got this, we want to come into a speech, and we've got to balance one after the other. I've not put anything there for the simple reason you people will be putting something in there. What is it that imbalances your speech? A proper speech is balanced with certain things. And what does imbalance your speech? We'll come back to make it interactive in the last session, but just keep into your head what actually imbalances your speech. What is it that is difficult when you stand up to speak? And sometimes a speech is supposed to be, while equally balanced, ends up to one side or the other. Now, a speaker's dilemma. Lost for words. Where else in Toastmasters, a speaker stage is the best place to be lost for words. Because that's exactly where it happens. And what was that again? Your message. We've got speeches that is going north, south, east, west, and if there is any other direction there also, ultimately the audience is lost in what the speaker started off with, why he ever stood there, and the rest of the audience is willing, I have to come to this every 2 weeks. Better still, this is a contest? Well, I know a mentor of mine who kept saying that every contest we used to win, and Amit Shukri and Jiju and Joel will all agree, and this is a few years back when I used to be part of contests. So it's been a few years. Every contest we have the same message about somebody being killed or somebody dying, and a lot of emotions being brought up, and about how his mother is the best person on the whole earth, and father. He has not talked to his mom in over 2 years by now. So we do that every single year. We know exactly what message hits where. So you don't actually need this talk that I'm giving you today, because most of us are experts with this anyway. I'm sorry, I'm still getting a hang of this. Now, topics. They tell us there are topics everywhere. Everywhere. Look left, look right. There are topics. But to tell you the truth, sometimes that's the question that I ask. Why then can't I see them? Why can't I see topics everywhere that these great speakers always talk about? And they are actually everywhere for the simple reason that we just have to be looking in the right place, in the right manner. Be observant about things. Now, somewhere to start off with, and most of the things that I'm going to tell you, you've already heard, you've been as Toastmasters, you've heard. Hopefully I would say something that's new, and you will all come back and thank me for that one thing, but the rest of it could be old things in new hash, okay? So it's just going to be that. You remember your ice-breaking speech, why it was so good and fun, or maybe, of course, behind a lectern with your knees knocking, still a difficult thing. It was about yourself. Why the Toastmasters International let you do that is because that's where you're comfortable most with. I would always say that pick out topics that always relate to you. Something much more magnified than, of course, your icebreaker. Because many a times people go wrong there also. And then you've got to listen to how his village has a pond, and there's a dog next to that pond, and there's a temple. They lose the idea. The fact is, what is interesting in your life that you can share with others, and they will go away with a positive message. So that is why they come back to this. What is it all about you? What is it that ticks you? Your favorites, your achievements, your even blunders, to tell you the truth. People are interested, especially about the blunders. So, for every humorous speech, let's just keep that in mind. Of course, Joel will come back and tell you about all that later on. But you, the audience is interested in you. As a person, make it interesting. Every single person sitting here is interesting. Been through the things that life has taught us, brought us through. And we're all sitting here because we're successful at that. And I think that is what will make a good speaker and a good speech. That's one thing. Look in the mirror is what I would say. That's what I call it. Creative notes. This is something that I was looking at, and if people have been through writing courses, there's something called the stream of consciousness. Now the stream of consciousness is just a narrative used in literature to depict the multitudinous thoughts that go into your head. It has nothing to do with meaning. It's just anything that goes into your head. Like, Irene is looking very good today, but I like the dress that she wore at the Ageless Beauty Contest. Okay? I wish I was one of the last speakers today, because I would love to listen to the rest of them rather than make a fool of myself as I stand. Things that just go in your head with no connection at all. I like Kenny's red shirt, but he looks better in something else, you know? Thoughts that have no connection at all. I think if we sit down, this is how they teach you in creative writing. Take a piece of paper, when you've got nothing to do, jot down everything that comes into your head. Believe me, it'll be a beautiful or very useful repertoire for speech topics in the future, because one small thing will get you on the road. Agatha Christie, actually it is understood, got some of the best ideas for her novels while she was washing dishes. And ever since my wife and I read that, I do the dishes. She's happy. I'm still waiting for that topic. So, now the easy way. Pick a fight. Controversial topics. And controversial topics is some of the best things you can come up with. Pick on something that you could end up choosing controversy that you want to defend or attack. Polemical or apologetic. Do you want to support it? Do you want to attack it? Or do you want to stand with it? Also, you could even go for the fact that don't take sides, just stay neutral. Those are very good topics. I'll give you a few examples, some of the topics that I had come up across. And, you know, just something that I picked up. There were thousands on the net, but I just came up with these things. Steroids in athletics, medical marijuana, eliminates minimum wage, hate speech legality, television. Everybody's got, these are topics that you can so easily have one way or the other. There are such topics that we all believe in. None of us are born neutral. We always take a side for any of the things. So I would say pick up a topic that's controversial in your heart, bring it out, throw it out. And I'm sure the club will always come and say, that it's a very good speech. Because I value speeches like that. Now, researching a topic, I'm not going to teach you too much of researching topics. We've all seen that in project number 7, how we go into various things that we can, and we pick it up. But some of the best places I'd say still to start up was with all of those manuals that we have in Toastmasters International. Whether it's your basic communication manual to also the advanced manuals and the other ones, the leadership series, the Better Speaker series. Now I'm doing something from the Better Speaker series, actually 2 different modules from the Better Speaker series in today's one workshop. Now, that's something that we can, sorry there. Yes. Now, the right topic. I'm coming down from selecting different types of topics to the right topic. Why is it that some people stand up and you listen to them and you're wondering why? I wish somebody else had taken this. Anything that I do, people say, I wish Jiju had done it. It was done better. So, something like that, you know. So, some people are good at doing some things. And so, that's what I was coming up to, Jiju. Sorry about that. But, there are topics that you love as a person. There are topics that you know. And there are topics that your audience cares about. Your audience, like Irene was telling me, knowing your audience, they have it in their bank, knowing your customer. It's the same thing. If you want to be a good speaker and a good topic, you have to know your audience. If I was standing here and talking about, I know, because I come from another club that's keen for Toastmasters Club, and they're all engineers. Trust me, some of the days if you listen to the speaker, you don't know which way is going, electron is going out and in. Because these guys are engineers and they're talking all engineering terms, you know. So if you're an accountant, forewarn yourself while you come into the Keen for Engineers Club. So, because that audience is like that. So they are glued to that kind of audience. They know who they're talking to. Now you see that little red portion there? That is the best, that is the best place to be with a topic. It's a combination of all the three circles. That's what they tell you. It's something you know, something you love, and the audience could care about. Hopefully today's topic is something like that. Something we know, something we love, but also that you care about, and so therefore it will make sense to you. Otherwise it's absolutely a waste. When you stand up, I know many people who can stand up and tell you a story of their vacation. Trust me, and their slides. This is the monkey, this is the beach, this is the ski. Goodness, man. You know, but you can make it actually interesting about how you went to this exotic place, and this is the customs there, and this is what we saw on the way. Do you know how the two different ways? Make it interesting. So bring out the knowledge in that you can impart to somebody, and the audience will start liking for it. So topics that you think might be important, and if your audience is not actually, you can talk about the best things in the world. If your audience isn't bothered about it, it's not going to make anything different. So always know your audience and trust and learn what they want. I have to get this. Speaking for the people. These are some of the questions that you have to ask yourself. Am I passionate about this topic? This topic, once you've got a topic, are you passionate about this topic? Does my audience care about this topic? Am I an expert? Sometimes this question comes up into your head as to whether we are experts. Trust me, it doesn't matter as long as you can fool the audience. Like something like I'm doing right now. So, you can stand up and make yourself credible by doing your right research about a topic. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to know everything about a topic before you start speaking about it. That's not where anybody starts and ends. I'm sure even Einstein. So I would say that you have to be passionate, bring out the interest in your audience, but at the same time bring something that they would like to hear, and don't worry about being an expert. Those numbers actually tell you how a rating of the speech topic, where it will fall. As you come out of that circle, it actually loses its marks. But that is for maybe a 1 hour presentation, not today, thankfully. So we go forward. Criteria for selecting a topic. Is this topic appropriate to the occasion? Will this topic, like it says, appeal to my listeners' interest? Is this topic something I can speak about with enthusiasm and insight? Will I be able to offer fresh perspective? And that is the key, my friends. I was talking to Joel about a world-class speaker who came here, and I remember him saying, I don't know who he was, but he talked about a life force in your speech. If you have not, David Brooks. And if you don't live it, and that life is not in your speech, everything you do, all the actions and the drama and the words and everything can fall apart if you're not a gifted speaker. But, so always, the life force is absolutely important in the way you present your speech and the topic. Taboo topics, contrary to a lot of rumors, Toastmasters International does not prohibit any speech topic, any language, or any. You can actually talk about everything. It's for the club to say whether it's suitable or not. And for the speaker, of course. I don't want to come and insult you on certain topics. I should know my audience. But Toastmasters International actually does not serve. Because you always remember that one man's meat is another man's poison. So you have to be careful and very prudent about the topics that you select.
Can I have a question?
Sorry?
SRP.
No, you can. So Toastmasters International actually does not tell you to, and that is from the website. That information is from the website. They let you talk as, I'm just going off in a minute, they let you talk about anything as long as you do not, you are prudent enough not to hurt somebody's feelings, their sensibility, and you have to present whatever, because we are a grown adults here. So they don't actually stop you from speaking. This is something that's come into because of the second, each individual club limits certain things, not Toastmasters International actually. The general purpose, I'm sorry about that coloring there, It says to entertain, providing your audience with something pleasurable to listen to inform, teaching your audience about a topic, to persuade. These are some of the general purposes, and I think the following speakers will cover this topic about the general purposes of speaking or of good speech. If you are to entertain, to inform, and to persuade, if your topics have that, then it has the ingredients to make up for a speech that is proceeding towards a clear message. That's what you have to do, to be able to persuade, to be able to inform, to be able to entertain. Now, recall, just coming back because the time's coming out, it's about you that the audience wants to hear. You have external resources to go to. There's a lot of these things that you've already heard. Proper topic selection. What does the audience want to hear? And what can I share to make it better for the audience? And of course, speech writing skills, which will cover the purpose of your speech. In conclusion, the topic selection is a very important element of creating a successful speech. When choosing a topic, look for one that will interest you as well as your audience. We're coming to the end of my time here today afternoon. The gist of what I've tried to share with you is selecting a topic that will allow your life force to be with you while you stand, and it will be useful to the audience. Anything else will always fall flat. Fellow Toastmasters, everything is like an archery, and we started off something with a person throwing an arrow at something and hitting all the wrong places. When you have continually practiced the gift of selecting the right topic and making it useful to the audience, then whatever you do is quite magical. And I'm sure that as you go along at the end of this workshop, you'll learn some of those tricks, and that could be something what your speech was doing at the end of the day. Thank you very much for your time and for your patience to listen. I hand over back to the MC of the day.